friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Chess Wise. Today we are going to look at some basics of rook end games. Okay, so what we are going to see some tactical positions based on rook end games, because I will be starting rook end games very soon. So the theory of rook end games, like we did in king and pawn end games, when rook and one pawn can win against the rook, and when a rook can hold against rook and one pawn. So that is the basic rook end game. So I am going to prepare for that. But first we need to know some basic tactical positions which I find it necessary. They are very easy. Let's try to look at the first one over here. So this is the position. See, the black king has just moved from g7 to f7. Now if we look at the position, we see that this rook wants to move away, so that the pawn can win. But if you try to move the rook right now, then a1 rook takes a7. This rook is very active. It is not letting the a8 rook move. But this position would be theoretically drawn if the black king remains on g7 and h7. This rook cannot move away because this pawn is gone. When the king comes and protects the pawn, so that the rook can move, the rook keeps check from behind. So it keeps on giving check. Okay. So here, but this square is a mistake now. White has a very simple tactic. See, white plays the rook to h8. Okay, and now he wants to queen the pawn here. So if the king attacks the rook, then 8 queens, then rook takes, and then rook takes. So this position will be winning for white. Rook and king versus king. We know it is a winning position. Okay, so obviously black has to play the move rook into a7. Okay, but now because of this king placing, rook gives check, and we see a skewer happening here. King moves away, and then rook wins the rook on a7, and the white position is winning. So these kind of basic ideas are very important to know when we talk about rook end games. Let's look at next one. Position is also very interesting one. Now first, it looks like it's very difficult to promote the pawn to a queen, because what is happening, if we play the rook behind the pawn, generally this is the most common technique, then the pawn moves and it becomes queen. For instance, now king let's say comes to g7, then pawn goes to e7 and the pawn promotes to a queen. Here what, there are two ways. Black can either play the rook to b8 and after e7 the rook sits in front of the pawn, or even better, king comes to f8 and after e7 check, then the king will sit again in front of the pawn. Then the rook will attack the pawn and win the pawn. It will be a drawn position. But here white uses the tactic based on the fact that the f7 square is right now covered. So white uses rook a8 check, giving check, and see here the king is not having the f7 square. So white has basically snatched away the f8 square. And now after the move king g7, again see, now e7. Now there is no way for black to gain control of the e8. So if king comes to f7, then e8 equal to queen check, winning. And same after the move rook e3, trying to stop the pawn. The pawn is attacked, but still e8 queens. Rook takes the queen, and then rook takes the rook. Again we see that by force the white pawn was able to queen. That is, black had to give up his rook for the pawn. So let's look at next one. Position is also very interesting one. Now see what is happening. It looks like the position is difficult to convert to a win, because right now the a7 pawn is attacked. Okay, if rook comes to c7 and tries to protect the pawn, then the king can come from f5, then it will go to e5 and d6, and then soon the king will go near the pawn and the pawn will be taken. Okay. It looks like rook is unable to go behind the pawn over here. Okay, because the rook is there. And also if we play rook a8 right now, then rook takes the pawn. But white has a very interesting tactic here. Because of this opposition, first the rook gives check, rook c5 check. Now the king is compelled to go behind. Now wherever the king goes, it will try to go nearer to the pawn. And now comes interesting tactic. See, this rook is the defender of the 8 square. So white plays rook c6 check, and now see, if the king moves, rook is taken, so rook has to take the rook, and then again 8 becomes queen, and after 8 queen, the queen versus rook position is a winning one. Although the winning procedure is bit complicated in some cases, we'll be discussing about that also in some future lesson. Okay, let's look at one more position. We have got a very interesting position. This is bit simple as compared to the others. Now what is happening is, we see that the black king is trying to go near the rook, and then ultimately he will try to take the pawn. So if it was black's move here, then black would have got the king to d5 and king would have come to c6, and then if the pawn moves gone to b7 and taken the a7 pawn. But it is white to play here, and white got the move a7, and now we see that this king is unable to hide from any rook check. So this is a very simple technique. The rook moves with a check. In the earlier position what we saw before, the rook moved away and used skewer, and this in this what we see, the rook will move with a check by force, and the king is unable to hide from any check, and then the pawn will become queen. Now let's see, if the king moves to any place like kd5, then rook d8 check, king goes to c6, and now 8 equal to queen check, rook takes, and then rook takes the rook. So winning for white. Black can try one more thing. For a7, he can try for some checks. Rook a2 check, he will try to force and see to it that he is able to give checks continuously. But there are two ways. One, king can go to g3, rook a3 check, king hides behind the king, and now this rook cannot give any more checks. And what will happen? Whatever black plays, now rook check and the pawn becomes queen. Let's say rook a5. And then after that rook e8 check. Interposing the rook doesn't help, just 8 queen wins. So any other move now, kd4, then 8 equal to queen, rook 8 and rook 8, and white wins the game. Okay, let's look at one more position. Here we have looked at the last position. Now we will look at another technique. Very often what happens, the pawn we think will queen on the square in front of it. Okay, the queening square is generally in front of it, but if we look at any middle pawn, okay, from knight 5 to knight 5, we see when the pawn reaches the 7th rank, it has 3 squares where it can queen. See, one in front, and these two are the squares which are also possible as a queening squares. Okay, now see, this position is typically based on that idea, and along with that, white here is using the tactics based on the back rank over here. Okay, the king is unable to come up, it's caught up in the back rank. So white plays the move a7, and after a7, see, it's forced to play rook 8. If the rook is not played on 8, then the pawn will queen and the rook has to be given up. So for instance, if king f8, then 8 queens, and then rook takes and rook takes, it's winning position. Okay, so after the move a7, it is forced to play rook 8, and once the rook comes to 8, it looks as if the black king will now manage to the b7 square and take the pawn. Okay, but here there is a simple tactic. White plays the rook to b1. See, note this square where the pawn is attacking. And now what happens? If rook takes the pawn, this was the tactical idea, then rook moves to b8 with a check, and it's a checkmate. King is unable to move ahead. So this is a typical tactic possible with rook and pawn. Okay, so of course here g6 pawn played an important role. So here basically it's forced to play the king to f8, and after that, as I told you, now the rook enters the b8 square. So the queening is not happening on the 8 square but on the b8 square. So after rook takes the rook, pawn takes, and the pawn becomes queen, and the position is winning for white. Okay, so this was my idea of showing you some positions which are related to rook and pawn endgame. When we learn rook and pawn endgames in much more detail, these will be very helpful if we can understand and grasp these tactical ideas. I hope you have enjoyed this lesson. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.